What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Friday night edition of the Comic Book Invest Hot 10 list, where you guys can find on CBSI's website, comicbookinvest.com, every Friday. I like it. Open up that drink. We're starting the night early, ladies and gentlemen, of course. We've got the one and only Bird City Comics. Anthony, what's going on, brother?
Chilling and killing it. How you doing?
Doing the same, brother. Mighty Mel V with Drunken Chat Son. What's coming on tonight, brother?
I don't even know yet. Drunk giveaways, you know
hijinks, just all kinds of fun.
I'm back in the building. I'm excited. Took my little 2 weeks off. Back on a hot 10. I'm ready. I missed some good books, and it's a great list this week too. So.
Yeah. And we've got one of the writers from the list this week, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ben S. took a vacation. He takes one vacation a year, and that time of year is usually when the CBSI writers get to take over and kind of, talk about the books they love. One of those amazing writers over at comicbookinvest.com is Chris Nelms. Chris, thank you for joining us, brother.
I'm happy to be here. So excited to work with you guys for the show. So.
Hell yeah, man.
It's our first time working together, so I'm excited too, man.
So for everybody that doesn't know, Chris writes the new comic book day list over there, which is a kind of a new thing that you got going on over there. They're also doing a show over at Pressable Defects channel about that list. And you also helped write this list this week. And of course, you helped do the 3 Comic Monty show. So where can they find, I know you guys are doing some cool stuff on 3 Comic Monty over on your channel. And where can they go and subscribe to you on YouTube?
I do teasers. We end up interviewing artists and writers just all over the place. We just dropped an article with John Jackson Miller, who wrote Knights of the Old Republic. So if you want your Star Wars information, he dropped some nice little hints about whether or not Revan is issue 9 or 0 or 42. So if you head over to CBSI, you can catch the different articles we have and the videos, but you can go to find me on YouTube through the article. If you do the article, my videos are in there. Then also Peter Renavision, he has his, and he's dropping, it's sort of a mix and match. So we don't have a defined channel. We just it's one of those, you throw it in there because we're trying to find people that like what we do, because we don't do spec necessarily. We just do some great
interviews.
Interviews.
Great talks. This one was great this week. I couldn't believe some of the information that was getting dropped from the horse's mouth, so to say. So I'm not going to spoil that. Make sure you guys go over to comicbookinvest.com. Their newest article, I believe, talks about the whole Revan talk, everything that kind of happened, and there's got some great videos over there. So make sure you guys go check that out. All right, so again, you guys, this is kind of how the list was done this week. It like I said, the one and only Ben S was on vacation, and good for him. So you guys can't guess where he is this week. That is unknown. I think it might be one of the normal weeks when nobody can figure out where he is this week. So, but other than that, let's get started. The honorable mention this week, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you got to have an old school golden age book on the list. And if you're going to put up a golden age book on this list, and you've got some of the people over here who are writing the list this week, the one and only Ben C puts up Chamber of Chills 19. Of course he does. He puts up one of the monsters. Basically what Ben writes, this is Ben C, of course. Ben C writes, rather than go on a long-winded tangent, I will just say a 5.0 sold in November 2018 for $4,850. This just closed on a comic link for $7,700. Sound investment when you think that in November of 2018, this book was already on the upswing. So, wow. Yeah, gold.
We love you, Mel.
Thank you. It's definitely a Laura cover right there, by the way. The red with the blonde hair.
She saw the cover and then she yelled that. She scared the shit out of me too.
Where's the drink? The drink is right there too.
Drink is there. I don't know if Laura smokes cigarettes, but it might be weed. So,
well, you know, we had to have the blonde in the red dress in the honorable mention. That's just kind of a thing we do now.
That's the way it works. So shout out to Ben C. He picked a doozy this week. Yeah, this is one of those crazy books that, like, listen, there's certain books that are on that Golden Age Grail list, and this is one of those top 3 books, right? This is one of those books that everybody wishes they owned. There's also some great backstory to this book. Of course, you guys can look into the whole, covers, music covers, Danzig, or was it not Danzig? It was the Misfits, I believe, right? That put this on the cover, yeah. Which, of course, Danzig sang for. But Danzig wears Uggs, so. Anyways, this is one of those crazy books, and it's just nuts. Before we get on to the next honorable mention, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. You guys know how the chat works. You guys make this show special. I want to give a shout out to everybody I see tonight. Shout out to Newbie Comics. I was watching Newbie Comics show tonight before the show. They do a good job. He does a great job over there. So make sure you guys go check out Newbie Comics. Yep. Shout out to the one and only Ultra Maximus. Yep. Make sure you guys check out Ultra. Follow on this show. There's all kinds of good, amazing people who join the live chat every week, including one of the greatest nicknames ever, Banana Momoka. And shout out to Azor's Tiger, of course.
Spine Ticks represent. What up? I got the shirt over. I'll give a shout out to those guys. Azor's Tiger, Sith Lordy, and his crew. Shout out to the Spine Ticks. Check them out on YouTube. Yeah,
for sure. Sith Lordy, Azor's Tiger, really good people. Shout out to Hood Rat Comics. Hood Rat Comics recently won a great giveaway.
He's always winning.
He's always winning, man. The guy's got luck, but it's because he watches Drunken Chat, I imagine. It just rubs off on everybody. So
he won the hero trade from Dinesh. And
wow.
That was crazy.
Ooh. I wonder what he's doing with that book. You know what I mean?
You better slap it.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, on to the next one. The next one this week, it's not a Golden Age book, but it's a good one. Star Wars has been dominating the list the last couple of months, and it will continue to dominate the list when we get amazing storylines like we're seeing in Mandalorian, when we're getting amazing interviews like the 3 Comic Monty guys did with the writer of Knights of Old Republic. All this stuff is just coming out hot and heavy. It's continuing to flow. I never thought Star Wars would stay as hot as it has for as long as it has, and it's just continuing. And this is Kanan number 6, which this week was a Nico pick, which is interesting because you guys all know how Nico does it. Nico says Kanan 6 is the first full appearance of Sabine Wren and Ezra Bridger, although we could have just as easily pointed to issue number 1 being the first appearance of the 2, or number 12, the first appearance of Admiral Ray Sloan. But this series is hot with collectors clamoring for key books in anticipation of a live-action reveal.
What is this hitting for right now?
It doesn't say. It's one of the things that sometimes the rookies do very good at when they're taking over for Ben. So listen to that, Chris. Kanan, let's see here. Let's take a look. Kanan number 6.
I see I'm Googling right now. I got you.
All right.
Let's see. So this bad boy is being listed all over the place. Jeez, but let's see what they're selling for. $100. That's $100 raw, near mint copy. 120, 60. That guy's pissed. 55. He's pissed too. Back to 100. He's bad. Yeah, okay, there we go. So anywhere from $50 to $100.
If you have Thrawn, you have to have Ezra. That's just so. Pick which book you want. If you want to go number 1, or if you want to go number 6, pick which one you want, because Ezra is coming, especially if Thrawn is out there.
Back-to-back 9.8s, $400 a piece.
I don't have sales. I found these in a box, and some told me that, you know what it was? It wasn't that something told me that. It's just I was too lazy to list. And this is one of those times where it pays off.
Oh
Yeah.
You know, Mel, with the week you were missing, I channeled my inner Mel. I don't know if you went back and watched it, but I saw a comic on there, and I was like, same situation. I had to do my Mel. I was like, that was on the shelf, and I was gonna get it, but then I didn't, and now look.
So, same thing with this one. Another book that's on the top 10 this week. We'll get to that when we get there. But,
well, I want to say I love the Chopper spec. I see Chopper on a cover, and I'm all about it. Shout out to Absolute Geek Crew and Tim over there in the Absolute Geek Crew fan base. Big Chopper fan. All right, let's get on to the normal list this week. But before we do, of course, I want to remind everybody to go check out cardstopper.com as well as comicbarricade.com. If you guys go over there to comicbarricade.com, use the code word Flipside to get 10% off your order for Comic Barricade. I just got 2 more packages. I went and got 2 more packages sent to me because these things are so amazing. If you guys aren't using them or at least haven't, just check them out. Trust me, just go check them out. Use the code word Flipside for 10% off your order. And if you guys are into cards, they work just as well for cards. They have a card stopper over there. It's cardstopper.com. All you Pokemon fans over there. So, all right. Let's get back into the list. Number 10 this week. Where's Nico when you need him? I know he's a fan of Kanan number 6, but man, he loves this book, this Pizza Dog book. He's been talking about it forever. But you know, Chris, you kind of keyed in on this one also. What's going on? Like Hawkeye 11 and number 1, right?
It was I don't know if you have the image. The image from the show this week. All of a sudden, you see we finally get a picture of Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye show. And in the background is a picture of the dog. It's not like they don't have an arrow pointing to, hey, this is the dog. There's just a Labrador in the background. And this book is not that it's selling for a lot. It's just been selling for anywhere from $20 to $50, depending on, because there's a second print and there is a newsstand. So that's what's causing some of the variance in prices. So when you see a $20 sale, make sure check and see if it's a regular cover. And then if there's a $40 sale, see if it was the newsstand, and people are trying to jump and grab. Of course, the second print and the newsstand would be the ones to have. I love this issue. You haven't read this. This is when this came out, I went crazy trying to get it. I mean, it was just such a great. I love. I never say his name right. Aha or AJ's. Art in there is just beautiful. The fact there's no words throughout the entire book.
Well, let's talk about this because that's a great point. People that have read this series, this Hawkeye series, love not only this series but this character. They love this Pizza Dog character. He plays a pivotal role in the series, and not only that, it's such a close character to the Kate Bishop character, right? That we're already seeing her show up, the character show up in the movies. Whether they're going to play out the role that he plays in it plays in the comics, we don't know. But this is a beloved character.
Yeah, and now this is not the first. The first appearance is actually issue 1. But which issue 1 has got shot up a little bit too. It's one of those. There's so many copies out there. There's a beautiful Granoff variant for issue 1 that you can go for. Oh, there it is. Aha.
Yeah. Well, no. It sounds like Shout out to Wonder World and to Rob's Comics. We love it when you guys correct us because we definitely don't want to be saying these things wrong in front of them. So David Aja. So. Thank you. Perfect. I don't think we'll forget now. So David Aja.
I picked up. I don't know nothing about the character. All I kept hearing is about how great the run is. And I was putting together books from the run, but I seen this cover. I didn't know nothing about Lucky the Pizza Dog, and I was like, "Oh, this cover's dope." At first, I thought that was a Panther. I was like, "Oh, this is great." I didn't know it was dog, but I picked up several of these covers for like $3 just because of the cover alone, and I'm glad to see that it's more. So my luck is finally started to turn here.
You held on to him. That's the impressive thing because it's been a while. I wanted this to jump, and it took a long time.
It's like I said, it's not. I don't hold on to stuff because I'm a great speculator about it by any means. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I think that's a majority of us, man. We definitely know the books. We just got to get good at selling them. You can tell that this is definitely a beloved character, and this is the type of spec that works out most of the time when they're loved this much. And then, to find, if a character's loved already, that anybody else introduced to that character is going to love it, So, there's number 10 this week. On to number 9. got to get Miles in the mix, right?
Oh,
Miles is going to be on a list most of the time, no matter what. Shout out to Phil Lee, who picked this one this week. And basically, he says this eye-popping cover has caught a lot of eyes, many Spider-Man fans. It's closing in on triple ratio at $30. Of course, this is Miles Morales Spider-Man 21, the 1 in 10 variant, which is a gorgeous cover. But he also says the book has a death of Miles' Uncle Aaron, the Prowler, where Miles is now facing similar challenges that Peter Parker had when he lost Uncle Ben. So,
what?
Did not know that part. Nice.
I did not either, and that's why we love readers.
Yes. Yeah, I gotta get back on my readership. I just be picking covers that I like. I gotta get back on my readership for real.
Well, see, I like the other one, the one that came up, Amazing Spider-Man. I think it was last week's, the scene cover. I like that one better as the one for 10 because these are all video game variants.
Yes.
But yeah, I like the other one better, and I like next week's. It looks really good too.
Yeah, dude, just the regular nullified cover is badass. But
yeah,
I ordered this and I got it in. And I put it up and it sold real fast. And that always makes me nervous. As soon as I put it up and it goes, I'm like, shit, what did I do? And I go double check, and then here we are. It's on the hot 10.
Well, it's selling for about $20 raw. It looks like 20 to 30, like Phil said. It slowed down a little bit since this list was written, but it's still selling for $15 to $20 easy. Maybe this is a book to jump in on if it stays around that $15 price.
Add to cart. This shit started early.
Do it.
Shout out to all the sharks out there, man. Shout out to all the sharks.
Add to motherfucking cart.
Yeah. And Black Key Comics, you're right. Shout out to all the readers.
Sure.
Listen, you gotta love them. Like that's what comics are about. So read as many comics as you can. But yeah, the video game I know is still continuing to get rave reviews. I know it's causing a lot of people to go out there and spend $940 on PlayStation 5.
Did you see that kid that waited like 2 days, like skipped Thanksgiving to get one outside of a GameStop somewhere?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's crazy.
That was Brian's little shot at me. I was telling Brian before the show that I was fucking around like under the influence. And I seen an auction for the guy who lived in Queens. So I bid it $940. Well, I'm not going to win this for $940. I woke up the next morning. Congratulations. Fuck. But, fuck it. You know what I mean? You only live once. I treated myself, so I got better with him. I'm loving him. I'm about to download the Miles Morales joint. Yes. That shit made me dizzy.
Yeah.
But we're gonna fuck with it. We're going to let you know how it is.
I like it. And I like this cover. I think it's a great cover. All right, on to number 8 this week. And Shuri has been in the news for whatever reason. She's been in the news lately. I don't think it matters what has been in the news lately. I see a lot of people freaking out over it and wondering if we're not going to see Shuri and this and that. But Van Denby picked number 8 this week, and he picked Black Panther Annual number 1, which I think is a little bit more of a under the radar Shuri book. And what he writes is Shuri books have not slowed down much, if at all. Another book to add to the list is this book, which features an alternate timeline future-esque story that sees Shuri as Black Panther prior to her first issue. Prices for raw copies have surpassed $50. Official first or not is up for debate. Just don't shoot the messenger. So, yeah, I mean, this book has been talked about for a while when they talk about Shuri spec.
Yeah.
I got before I went on vacation, we had a long discussion about how John David Washington should be the Black Panther. I just seen Tenet. I'm taking that back. We should just go Shuri. I love him. I love the dude, but his acting in Tenet, it just was not for me, kid. So let's go Shuri. So get all these Shuri books together.
It was dry, but I think it had to be.
Oh, he needs work. He has the look. He has the action. He can do action shit, but I didn't like it. I would like to see better.
Yeah, it was a Christopher Nolan movie, and I think a lot of Christopher Nolan fans love the movie. I think a lot of fans who weren't Christopher Nolan fans or just don't care didn't love the movie. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
And I see Reverse Bullets and him talking about a painting. I was like, what the fuck? No, I'm not.
You just gotta meditate more, Mel. Meditate more. But this book, I mean, I know there's a newsstand of this book also. So I couldn't imagine what the newsstand is fetching right now. But is this a book that we play on for Shuri?
I think you gotta, just to keep it safe, because you never know.
Yeah,
You just grab them all.
Stash it. Yeah, just get it all. Hey Mel, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I got fans now.
Yeah.
They're not just here. They're not just here for you, Mel.
Appreciate you. I tell you, I'm a fan of yours, brother.
I'm a fan of yours.
My man. See?
Sorry.
So do we think Shuri stays in the Black Panther movie?
Yes.
yeah.
I think if they want to do this thing classy, they got to go to Shuri. And I think once they I don't want to say once the well runs dry, but once they've done it and they peaked on it, then they'll circle back around to Black Panther with a new actor. But it's that breakup period. You can't just go right to a new one. It's just not respectful to the man and what he's done. You move on, you create some backstory, give it some time.
They did it for Superman.
But but were you in love with the Superman actors, or which one are we talking about? They've done Superman so many times.
Christopher Reeves is my Superman.
But that's what I'm saying.
Roth,
Christopher Reeve. How many Supermans do we have?
Henry
Cavill, best Superman.
You got like
Cavill
all the way back to George Reeve.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we've had 5 or 6 Supermans and we don't love none of them. And then there was only one Black Panther that I can think of that's ever been in live action.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Under the circumstances, again, 2 weeks ago I was saying John David Washington. But under the circumstances, if he could act, I would love to see him as Black Panther. If he could tighten up his acting, you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. They got to circle back around to him. Let Sherry shine, and then we'll circle back around so we don't have that. Oh man, they already replaced him stuff. They got to let the fan base build it back up.
Let the beat build. I dig it.
And Mel, I'm voting for you casting Black Panther 2025.
Well, it's also nice though because they still have Coogler doing the directing, so it's not. I mean,
exactly.
You have the same world and everything. It wouldn't make sense just to reinsert someone else. Hey, but yeah, I agree with you. Like keeping Shuri, I think whatever Wright said and that caused all the Twitter feeds to go crazy is not going to affect her role in the movie or whatever. I don't think it was anything consequential.
But I will say this: cancel culture is real.
Yes.
And it's scary because stuff like this could happen where come on guys, let's stop. Like at some point you got to stop all this craziness. And when stuff like that are happening where you're just looking for things to cancel people for.
Yeah.
But I will say you brought up Ryan Coogler, and I think in Ryan I'll trust. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this was kind of his baby, and all the Black Panther stuff. He really built that. If I'm correct, he really built that world and did a good job. Let's let him continue to work on it.
Let the beat build. But then the Mogul said, "Do they bring Killmonger back?" No, his stance on where things would go. A lot of people in the world wouldn't like that.
Yeah. All right, on to number 7.
If
go
they
ahead.
do bring him back, remember. Madam Slay was the one who brought him back from the dead. Just remember that.
Yeah, they cast Madam Slay. Something's up.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 7 this week. And like I said, Star Wars, man. Star Wars is crazy. And if there's one character that people are waiting for now that we've seen Ahsoka, make her ascension to the big screen, it's this character. And this is Darth Vader, number 3. Of course, the first appearance of Dr. Aphra and her droids. Great character, another beloved character that people are just clamoring for. And this is the number 7 pick from Van Demby this week when he writes another book from Star Wars universe that shows no signs of slowing down. All prints, which there are 4 prints for this, are selling for highs, with cover A closing on $100 raw. The 1 in 25 though, while holding a much higher price tag, is still the crown jewel. And that is correct. It is. That 1 in 25 is the book to get.
It's just a gorgeous cover, period.
Yes.
But it doesn't have her on it. So like in the long
that
run,
is her on it. No, that's her on it. Yeah, her hanging off the thing.
Oh, okay. I need to look at it closer.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Luke Skywalker.
A lot of people do. A lot of people think it's and that's what it is. It's kind of like a Luke Skywalker homage where Luke is hanging off the thing at the end of Empire. And that's what it seems like an homage of that.
Like, I'm pulling that up right now. Look,
holy shit!
Damn it! Now I really want the cover.
Yeah, that's what $1,500. Fuck. I had two of these. I sold them for like $100 a piece. So, story of my life.
Yeah, and the fourth one, which is purple, is nice. I like the green one too. I think the third is a green one. So yeah, and you're right, Brad. There is a free Comic Book Day Halloween version. So for you Pokemon collectors, that
and I
gotta catch them all.
Someone posted it's like the first time Doc Afra is on the cover, like the name is on the Halloween version. So if you want to do that crazy spec, because people have that super long. That's the one way you can try to sell it. Like, oh, hey, I can sell this for 15 just because her name's on the cover now.
Yeah, and there's fans out there that will buy that stuff, man.
If previews are selling for $4,000 to 9/8, then why not?
Yeah. $7,000. Shit.
Fuckery afoot.
Yee. But this is a great book. I love the character. I love the cover for both. The 1 in 25 and the normal. Adi Granov is an amazing artist, and he did I love the 1 in 25, but could you imagine if this was the 1 in 25?
Yeah,
game over.
3 cover appearances.
It's fucking game over now.
It is game over. But these droids also listen. These droids are pushing up this book too. Don't just think it's all Afra. People love these 2 droids. Z6 is it 000 and Z67 or something like that. I forget what they are.
There's a what was that C-3PO with the red on? I think that was C-3PO. Never mind.
Yeah. I remember that book. That was a crazy book. But yes, this book is going crazy, and I love it. I love this book. I do own a couple. I wish I owned more. I'll say it that. All right, on to a number 6 this week, and here we go, Mel. Back to it. Back to it, nice and heavy. The Matina monster that still hasn't slowed down like all the other Matina books, just because this character is so beloved. Is Thrawn #1, the Matina variant, and
this will be forever known as my PlayStation 5 variant because I actually sold this book 2 days before I bought the PlayStation. So therefore, thank you, General Admiral Thrawn. PlayStation 5.
Well, it's interesting that you sold a copy because this is number 6 on this list this week from Phil Lee, who writes Thrawn #1, 1 in 50 Matina variant broke out with $1,010 sale.
Hey, that's what you paid for the PlayStation.
Yeah. I sold mine for $1,000 off eBay.
So there you go, $1,000. I was going to ask you what you sold yours for. So hey, this book has got at least 2 sales over or $1,000 or over. So the book was selling for triple ratio when it first came out and has slowly gone up since then. The regular cover is doing nice at 20. Not his first appearance, of course, but it is his origin story and holds the first appearance of mentee Eli Vanto. So,
and I paid $250 off the wall about 2 months ago. I talked him down for $300. So
that's just, I mean, which it feels ridiculous to pay $250, but now paying $1,000. I mean, wow.
But people love this book, man. They see it, and there's just something about it. And it's really interesting because you see what's happened to some of the other Matina books, i.e. the Gamora book. It just, once the news came out about Matina, kind of borrowing stuff, it just really dropped the prices on some of his monsters. Not this one.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I had seller's remorse selling it at $1,000. As soon as you see his face in Mandalorian, this book here goes up to $2,000, just like that. I had seller's remorse.
Yeah,
I ain't tearing that no motherfucking $1,000.
It's a beautiful book, and I know a lot of people that have this book, and it's like a grail to them. They will not sell it.
Obviously, I'm not one of the people.
It's a good book, though. I love this book.
I love the cover. I had it looks so good in the fucking case.
Well, listen. Of course, we're not done talking about this character, but you guys are going to have to wait for that. Before we get into number 6, again, I want to remind everybody, this is perfect timing. One of those people I know that loves this book more than anything is Marco over at Tales from the Dark Side. They're doing a good job doing Mandalorian reviews. If you guys are loving what's going on in Mandalorian, go check out their reviews. They talk about some really cool stuff. They just had a recent show on Yaddle, which is really good, very interesting. So make sure you guys go check that out. And they're doing a really good job over there of kind of dumbing it down for people that aren't super deep into Star Wars lore, which can get really, really deep sometimes. So it's a fun show. Another thing, listen, I want to remind you guys to make sure you guys go over to Bird City Comics, score you guys some beautiful, beautiful exclusive covers, including this gorgeous Wonder Woman Future State book. Gorgeous.
Who did that Future State for you?
Matt Taylor.
Oh yeah, man, I loved his Green Lantern when it came out.
Dude,
awesome.
he's his colors, the way he uses it is nuts. Like,
yeah,
it's just he when we saw this one, I was like, all right, that's cool.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Can't go wrong with that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that like Jen Bartel color-esque feel on that. Yeah. But of course, if you guys remember, use the code word Flipside for 15% off. You guys can score yourself some sick stuff. And do not sleep on Bird City Comics over the next couple months. They've got some amazing stuff coming your way. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we got some really cool books. And just to give everybody a quick shout out, Comic Book Woman, Laura just told me they locked in a good interview.
Yeah, we did. What is it?
Should I even say it now?
Do we want to? Well, if you do say it, now you can say it.
Okay. So Laura just told me 5 minutes ago that they locked in the Megan Hutchinson interview for Tuesday, the 8th.
Nice.
Shout out
Megan Hutchinson. Yeah.
Megan Hutchinson is an awesome creator in this industry. Make sure you guys do yourself some homework and go check her stuff out before she is on the show. When?
This is going to be Tuesday the 8th. They're interviewing her.
At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There we go. I love it.
There you go.
Listen, the girls are doing an amazing job over there. Shout out to, of course, Laura, Lucy over at Mama Comics, and Jen over at Comic Aficionado, who are just great assets to the team. And,
Best show on the internet.
Your man Anthony over there, who is just doing killer stuff, helping them out. So
I'm just here. I'm just a guy. I clock in,
Whatever,
I eat my lunch and then I go home.
Best show on the internet. Best comic podcast on the internet.
Yeah, listen, you guys. It's a really funny show. It's a really good show, and I love what they're doing. So make sure you guys go check them out. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Megan Hutchinson. You guys heard it here first. Next Tuesday on Comic Book Women. All right, let's get back.
I told her, ask her if Donnie Cates make shit up as he go along in real life like he does in comics.
Getting people in trouble already.
Mel, make sure you follow the Peeps page. I think I'm going to put out a poll to get some questions together that the girl's going to ask. I need you to put that one on there.
All right, on to number 5 this week. And this is an interesting one. This is Doctor Strange 384, the second print variant. This is number 5 on the list this week from Phil Lee again. Doctor Strange 384 second print. This book has jumped from $7 to the $30 to $40 range. Doctor Strange bonds with the Void in similar fashion as Null does in King in Black. We also get the first staff from the World Tree in this one. Regular cover is going strong at $30. Also, which has Strange bonded with Void on the cover. So interesting.
This is the second print too, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the Void and the Void Knight from Silver Surfer Black?
I don't know. There's got to be something going on there.
That's a question for Ultra, I guess, to Drunken Chat.
This is a pretty cool looking cover, man.
Yeah, like I want this cover, not because of the value. I'm just like, that's a gorgeous cover that's I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
It looks like McClay.
Laura would like me to tell you that Doctor Strange is badass.
My favorite character by far.
Is this McClay?
And I think a lot of people are really looking forward to the movie coming out, where they're going with that movie. And don't forget, if you're a Doctor Strange fan, don't sleep on WandaVision, because he's going to be used heavily in that. The WandaVision story goes directly into Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange 2, and there's going to be a ton of information coming out of those two places in the next couple months.
My wife, she calls him the magician. She's like, "Oh, remember when the magician took the stone?"
Shout out to the mighty Mrs. Mel V.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one, so make sure you guys keep an eye on that. I love hearing spec like that. I love when people throw one out of left field, and this is definitely one that I wouldn't have been thinking of. So this is great stuff to have on the list. All right, on to number 4 this week. This is one of the books I think everybody's been waiting for. The book that kind of had a lot of talk this week. Yeah. Here we go. Daredevil number 25. And this one is number 4 on the list this week. And shout out to Adam Lebednik, who wrote, I think it was Adam L, who wrote this. Price is all over, with a second print on the way. Temporary costume marketing gimmick? Who knows? But a lot of people are saying Matt won't be gone too long. So, all right, this is going to take a little bit of a time. So let's get into it.
Yeah, she looks great, number 1. Let's say that right off the bat. The character looks fantastic. $160 for the variant, though?
And it's still climbing. Did you see the regular covers now? Today is like gone up to $30 and $40 and climbing.
I should have got my ass out of bed.
The variant, the nullified one?
The thing is, when I went, my sources at Midtown, at first they told me they had 0 at all 3 locations, but it was 1. They had 1 at all 3 locations of the variant. And I don't want to get them in trouble, but I know they pulled them for a fact. So
I don't know what to think about this.
Take the information for what it's worth.
Anytime they do this, especially for a character you know is not gone, but she also, it's a question of she's in that scene panel in King in Black too. There's like the big group shot, and she's in the background in the Daredevil costume.
Yeah. Is this book? So here's the thing. I've seen sales all over the place with this book. I've seen sales of crazy numbers like you guys are talking, and then I've seen sales of like $13-$14. You know what I mean? Like, has this thing turned into a complete FOMO craziness, or is this? Yeah, you think it's gotten to this point? You don't think this is spec that's worthy of
no? I mean,
the long haul.
Okay. First part of the question: do I think it's FOMO? Yes, because I almost paid $100 for it. If I had the correct credit card, I probably would have, but I'm still lazy to go back and say it. Number 2, Marvel's going to play on this, and they're going to milk it. They're going to milk it until people get tired of it. But she looks good in the costume. She looks really good. It was when I first seen it. Shout out to Dollar Bin. Shout out to Longbox, who showed me the image first. I was like, yo, she looks really good here. Like, this looks good. This could go places, but.
Yeah,
I'm not paying 160. 100 maybe with the right card, I would have did it. But 160, nah, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna last, especially with the solicitations for 27. But again, we don't really know what's gonna happen in 27. I think Marvel might have just put that out there to see what fans' reaction would be, because Marvel is definitely listening to speculators, and that's evident by them coming out with a second print design variant for this character. I mean, you're not going to come up with a design variant for a character you're only going to use for 2 issues. I don't think that's feasible.
Yeah. I imagine they'd spin her out. She won't be named Daredevil or whatever. They'll use the costume idea of her and use her later on and to spin her out into something. But I mean, Daredevil's done this how many times, where Black Panther took over for a while, and then
how many times has he been in prison? Yeah, like at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the statistic, bro. They go in.
He gets more chances than Josh Gordon, apparently.
Chris, I think you hit it right on the head. They've done this so many times. I felt like this is anytime that Daredevil's going into prison, I'm like, okay, I'm done reading Daredevil. If I was reading Daredevil still, I would be like, I'm done reading Daredevil.
But they're doing a good ploy.
Daredevil's like Batman Bloodlines. Once he goes down, somebody else has got to wear the suit. Somebody's got to carry the mantle, and it's always somebody else.
But I've heard such great things about this series. Like Chip Zdarsky, the writer, like from what I understand, like the first 10 books are becoming ghosts just on loan because people love the book so much. And I don't think it's going to do the Immortal Hulk thing where it's just people are just going to buy it because of what it is. But this might bring up interest where people start going, you know what, I'm going to collect and see what the story's all about. Because the Tedesco covers are gorgeous too.
Well, let's take a look here. Let's do something interesting. All right, let me do this. So what are these running for right now, you guys say?
The 25?
Yeah.
I know it keeps climbing.
So the trades look like they're in the 60 range for buying nows. A lot of auctions though. They're letting people set the market on that. There's not a lot of buying nows.
A set for all 3 covers auctions $168. It's $100 book.
I think it's fascinating. They caused 168's jump because of this too. Like there's been a lot of sales.
That was my thing. Let's see what a 168 and high grade is going for, right? So I don't. There's a 9.6 that sold for 400. You can get a 168 and super high grade for, what? How much did you say these are going for?
I see one sale for 160, but I say the average price I would say is probably about 100 right now.
I would definitely rather buy her first appearance, or you can buy her death, and then you can buy her rebirth. And then you go. Was it 181? She dies in the Miller run.
Yeah, and that's happened 4 or 5 times. Like I think Elektra's like the Jean Grey of the Daredevil universe, but. That show was so great, and there's a lot of people talking about that show right now. There's the petition, the Boss Logic stuff, and I'm right there with it. I thought Elektra was great in the show. I thought that casting and that show really did something good for Elektra, which was great because I don't think anything's been done good for Elektra outside of comics until then. And
I heard Charlie Cox turned down a Daredevil role several times, so maybe if you want to go Elektra route.
No. Yeah. What's going on with Daredevil and Donny Cates? Is Donny Cates doing something with Daredevil? Because I've heard crazy spec rumors about maybe Daredevil's part of this, something with Donny Cates or something.
There's something about he's going to fight no. He's going to give a fuck about Daredevil.
He's breaking out of jail.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see. But hey, man, I know people love that the second prints, and like people said, yeah, there is going to be a second print and a 1 in 25 second print, which is crazy. So you're right, Mel. Marvel knows what they're doing. Will they mess it up? Who knows? Is this something that you guys want to continue?
The second print is going to be over. It already has like 2 store variants now, so these things are going to be all over the place. This makes the first print even hotter if she becomes a thing. I got my hands on one, at 40,
and the fact that you're happy about that, like it's like,
bro, I thought I overpaid. at 40. I thought I overpaid at 40. And I wanted, like I said, I wanted about the second one for 100. But I was like, I didn't want to go back upstairs. Fat, walk a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely one thing I will say is there's a lot of conversation going on right now about this book in general, and it's very interesting to see people talk about it. So shout out to everybody out there that is talking about it and that's doing their research, and I love seeing that stuff. So you guys all continue to talk about this stuff. I love it. All right, on to the top 3 this week, and before we do that, I want to give one last shout out to make sure everybody goes and checks out comicbookinvest.com. It is the place where you get the list every Friday on the comicbookinvest.com webpage. And this list this week was written by all the amazing writers, including Chris Nelms, who we've got with us tonight. Comicbookinvest.com. I say it every week. It is the wizard of today. Amazing articles over there written by amazing writers. Make sure you guys go check it out. Comicbookinvest.com. All right. On to number 3, and this is a weird one, but I like it. I like it. Toxic Avenger #1. This is one of those
Toxic
books.
Avengers with a shit. Sorry,
This-
those guys
is
are
this-
badass.
Is this all based on the Peter Dinklage? Well, anyways, let me get into it. So, Toxic Avenger #1 is #3 on the list this week. This one was put in here by Ben C. He says Peter Dinklage is cast as the unknown role in Toxic Avenger movie, and this book goes from $10 to $30 with a wild number of copies moved in the last 3 days on eBay. Thanks to the one and only Maddie DeVoe and Cover Price for the heads up on this one. So, very interesting. This is a beloved character. I know we've all seen the Trauma movies when we were growing up. They were kind of, those funny movies that we enjoyed laughing at. And is this kind of? Isn't this kind of like a homage to Spider-Man? Kind of.
I see
Oh,
a
the
vision.
cover. Yeah.
I see a vision.
Yeah, I like it.
You know,
I like
when I love the original movie.
All
Gory,
with the trauma movies.
Loved it.
Yep.
When I see the cartoon, I'm like, what the fuck is this sellout shit going on? And I see the comic, I'm like, oh, this ain't the Toxic Avenger I grew up with. Love punching people in the stomach, pulling out their guts. Another shit in this cartoon, another shit. I don't want this shit.
Rob Nerd Haven says, I hope Peter is not the Toxic Avenger. Yeah, I think we all do. Hey, I'm all for it, though. I'm all for it, but I don't know.
Oh,
Peter
dude
from getting involved in Toxic Avenger. He has to be a huge Trauma fan, right? Because I would have never seen that one coming.
Yeah. I didn't even know this was in the works until they announced that. I think that's what caused it. It was under the radar. No one really cared. And then, hey, you actually got someone real attached to the movie.
Nero Violin, yes, you're right on point, kid.
Yeah.
I'm looking back at some of these pictures, and I remember the Toxic Avengers animated series. And there's an episode, the dude, I can't think of his name now, but the dude with the wheel as a foot.
Oh yeah.
And he's painting the lines that divide the road in the car, like the dotted lines. It was like dip, and I'm like, oh, that's how that shit got done when I was a kid. And I remember watching that on TV. I'm like, oh, there's got to be a dude that just paints the lines. Whatever, but it was that
This is very funny, man. I shout out Wonderwall Comics says someone grabbed my last copy for cheap. It's been sitting for 10 years on Amazon. Well, listen, there are some. I love hearing from people out there that give us tips on what's selling and what's not. I heard shout out to Jesse James Comics. Jesse James hit me up and said a Tomahawk is still selling like crazy. He told me about this book that he saw. This book was selling. He also talked about the Brute Force series is still selling. So listen, there's a lot of crazy stuff still selling out there. In this market is on fire. Like it just keeps growing. I don't know what to think. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, does it end anytime soon? Let's hope not. Let's hope we still continue to see books like this selling. Make some money for people out there who are part of this hobby. So shout out to everybody who sends us information. We love it. All right, on to #2. And this is a great book this week. Young Avengers 1 is back on the list. And of course, Kate Bishop, the Kate Bishop news. This is #2 this week. And Van Dimby wrote this one. He said, collectors will have long thought that Haley Steinfeld was cast as Kate Bishop, but we finally got our confirmation this week in form of videos and various pictures from the set. 9.8 copies are selling for the $350 to $400 range, with raws eclipsing $125. The Wizard World sketch is the rarest of the bunch, and finally the director's cut version is inching towards $100 raw. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize the director's cut was going up that high.
I seen this book on the wall for $40. And I was like, man, who gives a fuck about a Young Avengers? And as soon as I left the comic book store and got back in the car, I was like, you know what? I should have bought that book for $40. And that haunts me every day to this day.
I really wish I would have got the Wizard World one.
Yeah. Well, that's because this is a huge print run for issue 1, like the regular, but the Wizard World and I guess the director's cut, but that was a reprint, so it's not technically. But so yeah, this is because you have 4 first appearances in this book? 5?
Yeah. A lot. And they're definitely going younger. I could see them using the Young Avengers name. I don't know if they use obviously all these characters. I could see them putting people like I think Nico might have said this before. Somebody might have said this before. Putting Yelena Belova as one of the Young Avengers characters.
Yeah, that's been the spec talk the past week because she's supposed to be used.
You can't use Iron Lad, and you can't use this Hulk looking motherfucker in the back.
The
I
Hulkling.
was gonna say the Hulk looks like a Forever 21 model with his vest,
You got
hair.
It's too many Hulks. You can't have. I don't think we'll ever see a Amadeus show because you got regular Bruce Banner, you got his cousin. You're gonna have Thunderbolt Ross. You can't have all these Hulks running around.
Well, there's another character that I know it isn't on the list this week, but I want to talk about a little bit. Maybe that we could see going on. This is that Ronin character, the Echo character, right? I know that
just got some.
There's a lot of news about her being confirmed, and we're seeing that Daredevil number 9 and especially number 10. Shout out to Dollar Bin. He talked about that number 10 issue a long time ago. I've seen I think Long Short talked about it. I've seen a couple people talk about that book many moons ago, and it's starting to hit. And there are some characters that could be bunched in with that. And that new Avengers Ronin stuff. You never know. Like, is that going to start heating up now? A lot of characters that we could see.
I really see them going into the second version of Young Avengers, where they pull in America Chavez, they have Kate Bishop, they have young Loki. That's the team in my mind. That's the one they're going to go with. And it's like, I think it's issue 5 that they actually become the team, but it starts in issue 1. So that's where I'd lean. I mean, this is a key issue. Issue 1 has no first appearances. It's that weird. The team appearances really matter when you talk spec, and it takes a long time for that to matter.
Yes, it does. But here's the good thing. Like you said, a lot of people love that series, and good series can translate well if the writers harken back to the series. A lot of times writers don't like to do that, and they mess it all up. But hopefully, with everything that's going on lately in the comics world, it's helping the writers to just say, "Hey, a lot of this stuff's already written for us. We don't have to destroy it to put it on the big screen." Yeah.
Well, let's hope that's what they do.
Yeah.
And they don't go off another one of those Daredevil not Daredevil. What am I thinking? Deadpool. Remember Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, the first one?
Killed everyone.
God, please don't go off the rails. Just read the damn books, guys. Don't be creative. It's already done.
Riri instead of Iron Lad. I could definitely see that one. That's great. Yeah. There's a lot of characters listed that could be spec worthy and that are already spec worthy, but there's a lot more that could be spec worthy with this property going forward. But Young Avengers number 1, number 2 on the list this week. The number 1 book on the list this week, you guys. Again, back to Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, this book is selling for crazy amounts of money. Heir to the Empire, number 1. Phil Lee clocks this one in at the number 1 spot. He writes, Heir to the Empire, number 1, a record of $1,700 for a newsstand sale and a $1,500 sale for a regular cover sale has this book going out of control. I recently saw a pic, and I don't know if it's true, but a $2,500 sale for a 9.8 newsstand. So this book is crazy. He continues with the mention of him in last week's Mandalorian, having fans scrambling for his first appearance. Spec for the Blue Man has just started, and he is a little bit correct on that, because I know a lot of people have been specking on this for a while, but it's about to get crazy.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy. It's about to get fickle, because if the newsstand is selling for that much, then the next in line would be the toy variant, which is impossible. Well, not impossible, but it's pretty hard to find in 9.8. Then you got the regular versions. I passed on these many times. Story of Bell shit. You hear this each and every week. But I had a newsstand in my hand for $75. Put it back on the wall, like 2 weeks before the mention of Thrawn, and it's gone. Fuck.
Yeah, this is the interesting stuff. There you go.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of money, guys. And
That is a lot of Kern.
yeah, this is a newsstand that sold for $2,500 today. That's crazy. That's absolutely bonkers. I don't know what to think. I don't know whether to think like, what is Ahsoka selling for now in 9.8? I think that's a $2,000 book. Is it selling for more than 2,500 in 9.8? I just don't think this book should be selling for more than Ahsoka.
Why?
Because I think Ahsoka is a character that is bigger than just Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, I see Ahsoka being like a character that is beyond Star Wars, whereas Thrawn is still just a Star Wars character.
Thrawn has the potential of being the biggest Star Wars baddie since Vader.
Oh, I was about to say, okay, since Vader. Okay.
Vader. Okay. Because they missed the ball with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, they struck the fuck out with Kylo Ren. Now you have a gap. You're waiting for the ultimate Star Wars bad guy. Thrawn could be it. I see some clips of this dude. Dude does not give a fuck.
But when you talk about Ahsoka, brings in the entire element of a younger generation, the little girls wanting to buy the toys. Agreed. You're not going to buy Thrawn toys, or I mean, he's an Avatar character. I mean, with clothes on. I mean, he's a badass character, but he's not like, to me, he's not the toy you go after. Like, Ahsoka's been a badass character toy that you want. I mean, if I want a badass looking dark character, I'm going for the Darth. I'm going for Maul and Revan.
You gotta bring back Maul and do him justice on the screen. Yeah, you know what I mean. But Thrawn has yet to see the screen, and if done right, sky's the limit for Thrawn. But I mean, will we see? I mean, we've already seen Darth Maul on the screen. Will we see Darth Maul if he appears in The Mandalorian? Let's say, you think his book will reach the heights of $2,200, for his first appearance? I don't know.
I'd like to. I have a lot of them. I didn't pass those up when I walked by.
Now, what you got? Yeah, you have the Phantom Menace 3, or you have the other one?
I have both of them, but the hologram and the.
Gotcha.
But my question would be, like, I love 998 going, but what are the crap issues going for? That's always the one, like, because I have the crap issues. I have the ones you find in the dollar bins. Like, are they going for $60? Are they going for $200 now? That's where the money's made, because we all sit on those where you just like, okay, I'm not going to get 9.8, but if you can get $200 out of a book you paid $5 for, I mean, that's where you flip. I mean, yeah.
I found Clone Wars #2 a dollar box. So apparently, that's a third appearance or a second appearance?
I do not know that. That would be a Solo Wookiee, Morello, Topher, and Marco question.
Let's see,
Laura just goes, "Hey, this book's been on the Hot 10 before." I'm like, "No, it hasn't." And she goes, "Yeah, you're making fun of his arm, saying Mark Hamill's never been that yoked." I was like, "Oh, maybe I did say that."
No, it's definitely been in and out.
I want to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat tonight. My little brother says I'm drunk, so I belong here. Not yet. That show is next on Drunken Chat. So little Mac, make sure you stick around for Drunken Chat. Coming up next, you guys can find that on the Mighty Mel V YouTube channel. We'll see you over there after the show.
We're gonna continue this Star Wars talk on It's Drunken Chat, son. We also have giveaways tonight. We have a beautiful Greg Horn punchline set. And we also are giving away a Usagi U Jumbo NYCC. If you don't know what the Drunken Chat giveaways are, we provide the best giveaways in all of comics.
I saw a beautiful picture the other day of someone bragging on your box. It was gorgeous, the books they got. I was like, oh, you must have been drunk filling that box up because you gave away everything.
For sure, kid. Every week I'm throwing shit in there. Like, I don't give a fuck. But I really want to give back, you know what I'm saying? Because if somebody who really needs to sell those books to put food in the table for their family, they could have did it. It was all about giving back to the community. And I'm trying to get the videos together for the unboxing so I can put it on my YouTube channel as well. But follow Interglobal Comics on Instagram. He has the unboxing. Great kid. He's a nurse, so definitely tip my hats off to him.
You know, shoot him a follow. Yeah. And a matter of fact, we want to say to everybody out there that is in that line of work, thank you for doing what you do, especially right now. So we appreciate you guys and you men and women out there that are on the front lines of all this. That being said, remember everybody, go to comicbookinvest.com. Chris, when can they find new Comic Book Day article?
I drop it every Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning on comicbookinvest.com. You can find Chris's awesome article, new Comic Book Day article, where I believe they do a show on the Pressable Defects channel about. Also, Comic Book Money you can find on Tales from the Flipside. They're doing awesome clips that they do in the Comic Book Money show on Chris's channel, 3comics_CBSI, I believe. Is that what it is?
Honestly, couldn't remember. It's
check out Chris. There are links to it at comicbookinvest.com and Peter's channel, Peter Renna on YouTube, where you can find also some awesome action figure stories that are great. So thank you, everybody. Remember birdcitycomics.com for the amazing variants, and make sure you guys keep an eye on them over the next couple months. Trust me. And then we'll all see you guys at Drunken Chat following the show. Much love to everybody out there. Thank you, everybody in the live chat, and we'll see you soon.